Before the world had names for things, there was a God who grew tired of watching. He had sat at the edge of eternity for longer than mountains existed. He had seen empires rise in the time it takes a human to draw a breath and collapse before that breath was finished. He had watched 10,000 generations love each other, betray each other, grieve, and disappear. And he found, after all that time, that he did not understand a single one of them. So he made a decision that no God had made before him. He set aside his name, he folded his power into a shape too small to carry, and he stepped down from the place beyond the sky into a body of bone and blood and nerve, into a world where everything ended. The first thing he noticed was the cold. He had known cold in the abstract, the cold of deep space, the cold between stars. But this cold was different. It found the spaces between his ribs. It made his fingers ache. He stood in a forest at the edge of winter and felt, for the first time, the desire to be somewhere warm. He did not understand until that moment what shelter meant. Over the days that followed, he learned hunger. He learned what it felt like to sleep and to wake not quite rested. He learned that the body carried memories in ways the mind did not, that the smell of bread could make something twist behind the sternum, not from knowledge, but from something older than thought. He sat beside a river one morning and watched a woman on the far bank teaching a child to catch fish. The child kept losing the catch. The woman kept showing her. Neither of them stopped. He watched for a long time. He had seen that scene 10,000 times from above and felt nothing. From the height of eternity, it was just two small creatures beside a small river, irrelevant in the vast arithmetic of existence. From here, in a cold body beside a cold river, it was the most important thing he had ever witnessed. He understood then what he had been missing. The gods were eternal, and because of that, nothing they did was urgent. Nothing cost them anything they could not recover. Love was easy when there was no end. Courage was easy when nothing could kill you. It was not the acts themselves that made humans extraordinary. It was the conditions under which they performed them. A mortal stood in a burning building to save a stranger, knowing they might not come out. A mortal said, "I love you," with no guarantee of how long they had. A mortal kept showing the child how to catch the fish over and over because one day the child would need to do it alone. The god sat by the river for the rest of that day. When the sun went down, he did not move. He watched the stars appear, the same stars he had stood among once, distant and cold and vast and silent. From here, they were beautiful. He stayed mortal for the rest of that life. When it ended, he understood something no other god had ever known, that the fire burns brighter because it goes out, that the value of a moment is not what it contains, it is how little time you have left to hold it.